So we have the ecological literacy. In January 1994, the ecological literacy is the development of ecological understanding. Is not simply another subject to be learned, but a fundamental change in the way we see the world. So, ang ecological ay hindi lamang para unawain natin para matuto tayo, kundi isang paraan para matuto tayong baguhin yung mga maling nakikita natin sa mundo. Ayon kay Dr. Tom Pock, in 2002, the responsible lifelong learner who strives to improve the human condition and the environment within the context of self-human groups, the biosphere and the ecosphere. So, ang taong responsable ay habang buhay na nagsusumikap na mapabuti ang kalagayan ng kapaligiran at ito ay nagsisimula sa sarili natin. So the first characteristic is the uninquirer. So who actively secure the basic skills and the knowledge in order to carry out ecological responsible. So ito yung mga taong inaalam pa yung mga bagay sa kapaligiran. Ang kapaligiran ay kailangan nating pangalagaan, and we have the reflective learner. So who understand the value and the limitations of human knowledge, the power of limitation of the natural world. So ito yung mag-reflect sa iyo as a learner. Kapag alam mo na yung mga kalaman na dapat gawin sa kapaligiran dito, sa reflect, pahalagahan mo na yung mga kaalaman na yun. And we have the intelligently self-directed. So who engage in self-appraisal, sets new learning objective, develops plan to achieve those objectives, and etc. So dito na yung mga taong sinasabuhay ang mga kalaman, plano at iba pa para sa pagtupad ng kagandahan ng mundo. And we have the morally responsible, who governs actions with the precepts. So responsibility, seeking justice and equality for all to maintain harmonious relationship. So ito yung mga taong namamahala sa ating kapaligiran para mapaayos at magkaroon ng pantay-pantay na pagtingin. Sila yung mga nagdidikta ng mga dapat at di dapat gawin sa ating kapaligiran. And we have the ecologically responsible, who embodies ecological ideals and daily life. And ito yung mga tao may sariling pagkukusa at may sariling idea sa pang-araw-araw para mapangalagaan ng ating kapaligiran. And lastly, we have the seek self-transcendence, who moves beyond the limitation of personal ego by identifying with human groups. So ito yung mga taong may limitasyon sa pagkilos o paggalaw sa ating kapaligiran. And we have the training initiatives in college and university. We have the environmental and economic sustainability, a system-wide culture of sustainability help preserve and enhance what institution values today as well as for the future. So ito yung sustainable or sustain na tama lang yung pagkilos or paggalaw sa ating kapaligiran. Sustainable or nagsusustain sa atin na yung kapaligiran is importante sa ating pangkabuhayan, and we have the reputation as a leader through example. Dapat maging isang good example tayo as a learner. Next, we have the economic benefits. So yung economic benefits, dapat magkaroon ng isang programa para sa kalinisan, and ito yung mga nagpapatupad. And we have the real life work experience to your student, pag-experience sa mga estudyante ng kabuhayan pang kapaligiran na mahalaga ang pagpapahalaga sa kapaligiran at improve quality of life in the campus. Pagpapakitang improve ng kalinisan sa kapaligiran sa isang university o sa isang school. And we have in the school teacher are also required to shift emphasis through the following. So from parts to whole is number 1, dapat tinuturo ng sama-sama, hindi hiwa-hiwalay. And number 2, from objective to relationship. Yung mga kaalaman is dapat nakarelated dun sa itinuturo. And 3. From objective to knowledge, nilalaman hanggang sa magkaroon ng kaalaman ang kanilang tinuturuan. And from quality to quantity. And 5. From structure to process, mula sa structure hanggang sa pagkakaroon ng proseso. And from content to patterns, simula sa nilalaman hanggang sa pagbuo.